Yeah, me too. Surprised. I just wondered if everybody knows this for
No, we were talking to people already.
You had
So they think it's
a report for me to sign. Please.
It'll take 30 minutes, Ron.
Yeah.
Well, I signed it if I'm not here or wasn't here. Delay.
Ready to go?
Yeah, Jeff.
Okay, we'll call this meeting of City Council to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Norris. Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
Whitaker.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Ewing. Here. Godwin.
Here.
All right, let's please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Approval of the minutes. You should have received a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Any additions or corrections? If not, we will approve the minutes as they stand. Moving on, approval of the current financial report. You should have received a copy of that. Motion approved. Motion by Mr. Whitaker to approve the current financial report. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ewing. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Moving on, approval of the agenda. We do have one item to add right now. Number 6, is that an ordinance? An ordinance to adopt the 2022 budget. And then I think that is it at this time.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion by Mr. Brown to approve the agenda as amended. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ewing. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to public hearing. Anyone in the audience wishing to address council, please just come forward, state your name or nothing online at this point.
Chief.
All right. Seeing no one, we'll move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
I think I will pass too. Thank you.
Moving right along. Thank you, sir. All right, safety service director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple things for tonight. One with the projected weather coming in, a couple things on that. The first is Rumpke is looking into adjusting their routes. They're kind of playing it by ear right now and just seeing what happens, potentially starting early or potentially even going into Saturday and Sunday. So they're going to send us updates as they make decisions, and then we'll post those to the city's website and our Facebook page to get all that information out there to the public. And with the snowstorm, if it happens, we always say we prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And so we have a great plan together with the street department and police department and the fire department and the township fire and the EMS rescue. We're gonna move some trucks around, bring in some extra staffing to handle those loads. Street department's been gearing up all day and has plenty of salt. The biggest thing is just be patient with everyone in the public, driving to keep accidents down, and be patient with the street department employees. They work long hours and they do take a lot of pride in their work. Unfortunately, people get plowed in and tempers flare, and just everybody remain calm and be patient, and we'll get through it. And with that, I will pass.
Very good. How do we get this extra staffing that you speak of?
All right, moving on. Law director.
Thank you, Mr. Council President, or not Mr. Council President, Pro Tem, however we want to throw it in. Just two quick things tonight. One is a clarification under number 4, the ordinance for the strength ordinance for Greenville. We had already approved the contract for the water and wastewater. Part of that contract that we had set up through the union negotiations was there's a water distribution crew leader. There was already that position was effectively being handled. So a person was managing them, even though they were all on the same step. And so this just clarifies and cleans that up. It puts the step in so that we've got the hierarchy needed for kind of the management responsibility. And again, this really is the technicality to clean up for the union contract that y'all have already approved. And then last, we've been busy with committee meetings. We had one before here, a couple the other day. There's legislation tonight for the committee report. It's not on the agenda, but Jessica has it. If you accept the committee report, we've got that legislation ready to go. So we just amend the agenda and add that as well. With that, I'll take any questions.
Anyone? All right, thank you, sir. Moving on, city auditor.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I need a finance committee assignment for the purpose of reviewing the community funds requests. And I'd like to have it go at least until the second meeting in March, because we're still getting requests in at this point. So,
Okay.
and I also want to inform everybody in general that we now have a copy of the community funds requests out on the website for anybody that's interested.
Okay,
So-
very good. I will get with you and we'll get something set up then. Very good, thank you. Okay, moving on, committee reports. We have one report out of the safety committee.
Dear Council, the Safety Committee met on Thursday, January 27, 2022, to discuss building a fire training facility. The committee recommends to City Council that the City of Greenville commits the land owned on KitchenAid Way for the building of a fire training facility. The Safety Committee also recommends the hiring of Katie DeLand, Ohio Director for Duane Morris Government Strategies LLC, on a monthly contract of $3,000 per month plus expenses to apply on our behalf for state capital budget funding for this project. Sincerely, Jeff Whitaker, Chairman, Leon Rogers, Vice Chairman, and Clarence Godwin, Member.
Okay, you've heard the committee report. Would you accept the report? Motion by Mr. Whitaker to accept the committee report. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. So we do have legislation prepared, correct?
That's
So I would need a motion to, is this a resolution?
Yep.
A motion to add this resolution to the agenda.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to add number 7, resolution to the agenda. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, very good. Okay, moving on then to ordinances and resolutions. We now have 7 total for this evening. The first one is a supplemental ordinance for appropriations.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general fund and park fund in the sum as follows. Transfers elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $1,520. These funds are needed for transfer to the park fund. New equipment park in the amount of $1,520. These funds are needed for a new park bench and were provided by a donation from Fouts Foundation.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, ordinance passes. Number 2, ordinance accept public improvement
An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Darren Lease as previously agreed under a development agreement for Autumnwood Estates, Section 2, Phase 4. This ordinance accepts the public improvements installed by Darren Lease as previously agreed under a development agreement for Autumnwood Estates, Section 2, Phase 4.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
Yes.
An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Darren Lease as previously agreed under a development agreement for Autumnwood Estates, Section 2, Phase 4. An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Darren Lease as previously agreed under a development agreement for Autumnwood Estates, Section 2, Phase 4.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt this ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Number 3, resolution authorizing safety service director to enter contract.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with Verdontis LLC for professional services related to environmental monitoring and consulting for the landfill. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with Verdontis LLC for services related to environmental monitoring and consulting for the landfill.
Move to suspend the rules on this resolution, give it second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution a second, third reading by title only. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with Verdontis LLC for professional services related to environmental monitoring and consulting for the landfill. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with Verdontis LLC for professional services related to environmental monitoring and consulting for the landfill.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution a second and third reading by title only.
That was the.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ready to adopt.
Sorry.
You're fine. Motion by Mr. Whitaker to adopt this resolution.
Wow.
Any discussion?
Is this the main expense, right? The landfill that we talked about? This contract is, it used to be called Hall and Associates. They've just sold out to this Redantis. The contract's $62,500 this year. So it's the big part of it.
Same thing.
Same thing with, yeah.
Any further discussion? All right, the motion is to adopt. Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
Yes.
All right, moving on, number 4, an ordinance to repeal several ordinances.
An ordinance establishing personnel within the city of Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency, amending and replacing ordinance 18-106, 19-19, 20-103, 21-19, and 21-83. This ordinance repeals and replaces ordinances 18-106, 19-19, 20-103, 21-19, and 21-83, establishing personnel within the city of Greenville. This ordinance has an emergency clause.
I get a motion to suspend the rules and read this ordinance by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to read this ordinance by second and third time. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
Yes,
An ordinance establishing personnel within the city of Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency, amending and replacing ordinance 18-106, 19-19, 20-103, 21-19, and 21-83. An ordinance establishing personnel within the city of Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency, amending and replacing ordinance 18-106, 19-19, 21-03, 21-19, and 21-83.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the emergency clause. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin.
yes,
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to adopt this ordinance. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Number 5, a resolution authorize the safety service director and enter into contract with Garmin Miller.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for the Salt Barn project. This resolution authorizes the safety service director to enter into contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of services in 2022 for the Salt Barn project.
Move to suspend the rules and give this second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution a second, third reading by title only. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for the Salt Barn project. A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for the Salt Barn project.
Move to adopt. Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, moving on to number 6, resolution for the 2022 budget
Ordinance.
ordinance, I'm sorry.
An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the city of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2022 and declaring an emergency. This ordinance appropriates funds of the city of Greenville for personal services, operations and maintenance, transfers and capital new equipment to fulfill purposes for which the city of Greenville must provide in the year 2022. This ordinance has an emergency clause.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the city of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2022 and declaring an emergency. An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the city of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2022 and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the emergency clause. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes. Motion to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Okay, then moving on, we have number 7. This is the, is that a resolution? A resolution, this is the one that we added here for the safety committee report.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Duane Morris Government Services for the rendering of professional services for fire safety training facility. This resolution authorizes the safety service director to enter into a contract with Duane Morris Government Services for the rendering of a fire safety training facility.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution a second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this resolution a second, and third reading by title only. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Duane Morris Government Services for the rendering of professional services for fire safety training facility. A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Duane Morris Government Services for the rendering of professional services for fire safety training facility.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Call the roll.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
All right, very good. Moving on, we have our council representative for the outside committee. This meeting we have down for Main Street, Greenville. You want to?
Yeah,
Do you have anything to report tonight or?
one thing I do want to talk about is there was talk of moving the horse parade back a little bit earlier in the November because of maybe running into less weather, but there was an issue where we thought that the Christmas lights were important to have for the, you know, the ambiance, if you will, the horse parade. And quite frankly, I think that draws a lot of people from outside. I mean, downtown Greenville looks great and with the lighting of the Christmas tree and so forth. So the person that handles the horse parade, I forget her name, she has agreed to leave it right where it was the week before Thanksgiving. So that's good. We don't have to try to get the Christmas lights up earlier in the year, which quite frankly, in my estimation, wouldn't be too good, I don't think. What's that? Yeah, it's Miss Ryan. Yeah. Very good. So anyway, and then I know that the Greg is doing a great job as our as the Main Street Greenville and Dark County Visitors Bureau Executive Director. He's really got his feet to the fire and getting things moving and organized and so forth. And he's got a lot of events that are being scheduled and including, you know, the annual Oakland Days and so forth. So I think they're doing a good job.
Great, yeah. Good to hear.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on, communications.
We received the fourth quarter report of 2021 from the fire department, the monthly report of December 2021 from transit, and the monthly report of January from income tax.
All right. If nothing else, we'll call down the council.
Norris,
I'll pass.
Rogers,
Yes, I was observing tonight as I was coming to the meeting, the red lights turned on in the Broadway area and around for the Valentine's Day. And I think it looks very impressive. And so I'm glad that that was brought up and was able to be done. So also with the weather coming in, hopefully everyone will be very careful. If you're out shoveling snow, it sounds like it's going to be a very wet snow and, you know, it's going to be heavy. So make sure you take your time and don't get overexerted, end up in the hospital. So we wouldn't want to see that either. So anyway, just give the people the time to need the snow that they can and be careful out there. With that, I pass.
Schmidt,
I'm going to pass.
Whitaker,
Yeah, I just want to thank Safety Service Director for his report and the street department and all their preparation and remind everybody to be patient as he said. And I think that they've done a good job in preparation for this impending storm. We'll see how bad it gets. So with that, I pass.
Brown,
I said it yesterday a little bit, but I just, again, I want to say thanks to Roxanne and Kim for sitting down with the newbie here and as well as Dolores and kind of walking us through the budget a little bit. I'm definitely not a spreadsheet guy, and so that was super helpful. With that, I pass.
Ely,
Okay, I don't have anything to report, except I do want to request from the council president, I presume this is appropriate spot. I was scheduled to give a meeting from the Zoning and Planning and Governmental Relations Committee concerning a code enforcement officer. I would like to request an extension on that.
I'm going to grant that and I'll tell Mr. Baumgartner we're just going to have to live with it.
There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody in this room, so thank you very much.
Godwin,
Pass.
That it? All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So I'll give it to Mr. Brown.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.